Hi everyone, so continuing on with Weapon Month. Okay, so the next thing we want to look at is going to be the different types of weapons that we may have to deal with or that we may have to use depending on the context. So I'm going to break it down into a few categories. All right, the first one we're going to look at is going to be blunt weapons, right? So these are weapons that we use to hit somebody with and they do damage through blunt force trauma, right? That can be, a bat, a stick, a brick, anything that we can grab that is solid and we can hit somebody with. Okay, that's one. Number two, we're talking about edged weapons, right? So the most common thing is a knife, but it can be a machete, a broken bottle, a screwdriver, anything that we can either stab or slash with, or both. Okay, we then look at projectile weapons. And when we talk about projectile weapons, we're talking about potentially something that someone can throw, or looking at firearms. So it could be a firearm, it could be a bow and arrow, a slingshot, it could be a phone that I pick up and throw at your head. But anything that we can look at anywhere from throwing distance to shooting distance, right? Then we look at flexible weapons, right? So flexible weapons, you can look at things like chains, belts. They are flexible, they wrap around, they move. And then finally, we look at combination weapons. Right, so for example, if you look at a naginata, for example, a Japanese halberd type thing, it's a staff, so it's a blunt weapon which also has a sharp edge at the top. Right, you can look at a bag full of quarters, right, or a sock full of quarters, which is essentially a flexible weapon with a blunt end. And the reason it's important to recognize these things is because each one of these will hold different considerations in terms of A, how we use it, and B, how we defend against it. So important to understand the different types of weapons that you may encounter and how you can use them. That's what you have to come to class to find out.